Welcome, everybody. This is Randy, and you are looking at the very first page of the CS50C Web Development 3 class for spring of 2017. I am your instructor. It says so right down here. And I am responsible for making sure that you guys emerge the other end of this semester having learned something. So let's get started. You'll notice that the homepage I keep is relatively lightweight. I don't have a whole lot of content on it. The idea is for you to spend most of your time in modules and announcements and grades. So those are the three links that you'll find on the main page. Let's talk first about let's talk about announcements. So announcements, when I have any news to report or any kind of updates or just kind of general heads up, you will see it in the announcements. If you link this to your own, if you link it to your notifications for your Canvas account, you'll get emails and whatnot, text messages or whatever, however you configured your own Canvas experience. The other thing is that let's now look at the syllabus, and you're free to read this. I'm not going to go into too much detail here, but I will touch on a couple of things. Things I wanted to just mention is that this is the official syllabus of the course. You are, it does mention the student learning outcomes, but this is mostly copied and pasted from the course catalog. Class meetings, it is important to kind of understand that this isn't a correspondence course. We are going to be doing live online class meetings every Wednesday evening from 6 to 9 p.m., and we're going to use CCC Confer. If you don't know how to access CCC Confer, there is help on the distance education website that will help you with that. If you are horribly stuck, give me an email and I'll see what I can do to clear the logjam for you. Here's my contact information. I have my santarosa.edu email address. This is my mobile number. Online office hours are tentatively scheduled, most likely going to work this way, but we'll do this the Wednesday evenings, the hour prior to class. So if you can, find time to, if you need other times, we can schedule an appointment to meet other times, but this will be my regularly scheduled office hours. I do respond to emails and text messages within 48 hours in general. The course website. So we will be using Canvas for assignments, exams, quizzes, resources, and grading, but we will be using outside technology for submitting homework assignments. I will go into that in a different video. As for textbooks, we're not going to use a regular textbook. I've been using Introducing HTML5 by Bruce Lawson and Remy Sharp, but as this class is now kind of in a transitional state, we're looking to change the course outline a bit to be a lot stronger in JavaScript. And so this semester is kind of an experiment, and so welcome to the lab. What I've realized is that we touch on such a variety of topics that there's no good textbook available. So what we'll do is I'm going to curate a bunch of online sources and provide them to you. There'll sometimes be some reference reading, but I'll try to limit that because that's what I do before I go to bed at night. So yeah, that's how we'll handle the textbook for this round. Required software. There is some required software. Most of it is just having a modern web browser, okay? The two that I recommend you have at least two. The two that I would suggest is one of Chrome or Firefox, and then your built-in OS browser. Usually that's going to be Microsoft Internet Explorer or Edge, or Apple Safari on the Mac. Opera, generally speaking, Opera is kind of in a losing position here. So, you are welcome to use Opera. I probably won't be referencing it very much in my talks, but it is a compliant browser in a lot of ways. And we'll get into kind of what, browser features in one of my talks. You are welcome to use an HTML editor or basically a text editor. Here's a non-exhaustive list of options here. There's some Windows only, Mac only, and then multi-platform ones. And file transfer software, again, you are welcome to use any of these. There's several. There's so many of these. It's kind of funny. But again, watch one of my how we're going to submit homework. You may not need to worry about most of this, but we'll get to that. Important dates. So, I invite everybody to take a close look at the academic calendar over at the santarosa.edu website. That's going to have complete details and definitely up to date information on milestones and deadlines for this semester. I've listed them here, for the ones that kind of matter to this class. If you want to drop a class, attendance, pass, no pass, a lot of this stuff is boilerplate. Just be aware that if you want to set up for a pass, no pass, you're welcome to, but if you do elect that, you can't switch back to a grade later on. So just be aware of that. Grading policy is basically straightforward. It should be a recognizable split for the grades. Standards of conduct obviously is copy pasted from the Santa Rosa Junior College standards. If you have any needs, any accessibility needs, please do work through disability resources, and they will work with me and we'll get you taken care of. Don't sweat that. Finally, in this list, we've got our weekly topics. Now, this is subject to change. I am actively tweaking this schedule around. I may decide that one or the other of these needs to come first, and so don't take this as set in concrete. Just think of it as generally the flow that we want to proceed, where you'll notice that the first half of the semester before the midterm, we're talking mostly about HTML, CSS, different features, and different kind of aspects of advanced web technology. And then the second half is going to be more interested in JavaScript and dealing with the APIs that are out there that you'll find a lot of in modern web sites these days. Down here, what you'll notice is that I have put in the calendar, and we'll click on the calendar in a moment. There's several class meetings. All of the class meetings are scheduled. I noticed that I didn't schedule one for the midterm, and I did not schedule one for the final exam. I'm working on how best to coordinate that. We will, stay tuned on that front. The week of March 20th is spring break, so that week there is no class. Okay, the next thing to talk about is grades. Now, if you haven't used Canvas before, this is how you'll access your grades. You'll notice that you have some variety of options here for what's currently kind of in the grade book. These might be assigned or they might not be due yet. In this case, the first assignments are not due until January 23rd. You have a variety of ways to list them. You can arrange them. You can also do try out different scores. If you're interested in kind of really being a data geek about this, you can absolutely do this. Notice that I do have a split in terms of how the assignments are weighted. Notice that we've got critiques and analysis, websites and projects, exams, participation and surveys, and I'm going to strike that one. That one doesn't belong up there. And so the whole thing adds up to 100%. And so, you'll notice, though, I want to be clear that, participation does matter, and that does come out of your the online. The participation is a combination of discussion items, peer grading that happens because you're going to be doing peer grading of each other's work, and you are also participation, meaning your presence on the class meetings. So I haven't worked out exactly what that looks like, but that's the intention. Finally, let's take a quick look at the modules. Now, again, this is since I'm moving things around, I've basically turned off a lot of the stuff, but you'll notice that you can access at the start of the class, you should be able to access this getting started. Notice that if there are the student resources, I'd like you to just pay close attention to. These are going to be resources that are going to be available to you the entire semester, and I really encourage you to become accustomed to visiting these, especially Q&As about the course, meaning that if you have any questions, this would be the discussion topic to click on and pose your question. I am subscribed to these so that I see them. The student lounge is for yourselves to kind of coordinate between yourselves. If you wanted to, pair up on different stuff, that's fine. Stuff and things that have no other home, which is my my catch-all. There might be more pages dropped in here as needed to kind of make sure that we catch everything. We don't lose any content for you. The Getting Started module is literally the week of this week right now where we are. So this is your, you'll notice that some of these items show the need to view. So if you just go there and you take a look at the page and you go through the module and you click and you read, understand, you click through to the next module. Once you go back to this and take a look, you'll notice that you now have check marks here that show that you've viewed them. Now, in order for this module to be considered complete, we just need you to make sure that all of the ones that have these kinds of verbs underneath them, like view or contribute, that you actually do. Once you do, you'll get the green check mark here, meaning that you've completed this module and you're good to go to move to the next one. What I have not done, and I used to do, was basically predicate the unlocking of a subsequent module on an earlier one. I've kind of turned that off. I generally found that that's more problem than it's worth for your purposes. So don't sweat it too much. But definitely do get in there, do the participation check and discussion where you can introduce yourself. And then this will be unlocked by the time you get to see this. This is actually going to be unlocking on the 17th, which is tomorrow. And since this is Martin Luther King Jr. Day, hope you guys are having a great holiday. Anyhow, that I think wraps it up for this. You guys are, of course, welcome to contact me based on my contact information, and definitely, look forward to a spirited semester ahead. All right.